What are those changes to the PMP exam? Why and when will they be effective? That's some of the things that we're going to talk about today in this presentation. So stay with me. So why is PMI going through this PMP changes? One of the things that I can tell you is that the PMP exam goes through changes after about 3 to 4 years every year. And so this time around, this is actually going to be one of their major changes. And really what that means is that, some of the processes that we're used to and the process groups and knowledge areas will be looking a little different. So why is this change? Well, the project management practice on its own has to evolve. And part of that evolution is that you start to apply new concepts that needs to be integrated within the practice of project management. And so PMI does this extensive research, working with different organizations by providing subject matter experts to see how the practice of project management has changed, and then taking those changes and applying it to the certification itself. And that's why today we are seeing those changes in terms of the outline or the content that we have to learn in order to pass the PMP exam. So what are those changes? One of the things is that the PMBOK will not change. So the new exam, even though it's happening January 2nd, 2021, you're still going to be tested on the current version of the PMBOK 6th edition. And so this version came out in 2015. It has gone through some minor changes and applications of Agile and so on, but the major change of the new version of what's being taught to us will be in PMBOK 7th edition, which won't really come out until Q4 of 2020. What we have been seeing is the practice of project management through the 5 process groups. So initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, controlling, and closing. So that is going to change, and it will move into 3 main domains, and I'm actually going to show that to you all shortly. So essentially what is happening is that it will be 50% waterfall and 50% agile. And the exam is changing 50%. And so like I said, this is one of their major changes in the last 20 years. So in terms of the current structure that I just talked about, this is the current one. This structure is what you can use to pass the exam today. So there are 5 process groups, and as you can see on the percentages to the right, those percentages tell you how many questions you should expect within that domain or process group. So initiating, you have about 13%, planning 24%, executing 31%, monitoring, controlling 25%, and then closing at 7%, which totals to 100%. And of course, the exam is about 200 questions, and you will not know what domains or process groups you will have those questions from. They are all mixed up. The new structure of the PMP, which is more agile driven, you're going to have domains that are called people, process, and business environment. And again, to the right of this, you're going to see where majority of your exam questions will come from. 42% of it is going to be from people, 50%, which is the largest domain, will be process, and 8% of it will be business environment. The entire outline of what is going to be within each of these domains has been placed on PMI.org's website. So if you're watching this video, that link will be available to you right here, and I'll go ahead and plug that in. And you can really go ahead and look into what that means from a process level. When do these changes take place? Like I said, the new version of the exam will happen January 2nd, 2021. So about 5 months from today, which today is August 2nd or 3rd, I believe. And so about 5 months from today, you will be taking a new exam come next year. And we'll talk about whether you still have time on taking it with the current version. So what do you do now in the next 5 months? Like I said, you can take the current version of the exam until December 31st. So the current materials that 3T Institute offers, classes, as well as e-learning portals, all of it is based off of the current version, which deals with the 5 process groups, the domains of the 5 process groups. And you have time. 5 months is a long time. Taking a 6-week structured learning course that will ensure and will give you the green light to tell you whether you can pass or not will be the surest way to know that you will pass at the end of your learning. If you are interested in learning the new content, the new outline, that has also been created, and I'm actually currently enrolling in that class as well starting September 5th. So if you are interested in learning the 50% Agile, 50% Waterfall, those materials have been created as well, and it's available for you to join those classes. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to go ahead and put my calendar link right within the message, and you can book a time and we can talk about what would be the best choice or decision for you to make in terms of, your current responsibilities, your job, family obligations, so you can kind of figure out whether you can pass it on the current version in the next 5 months, or is it best to start on the new version of the exam. So the choice is really yours.